Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in Let's Play Football Manager Return to Liverpool, and this is the February review for 2020-2029. And as you can see, we are top, and this is the most dominant I've probably been since the days of FM12, I'd say, because we've never really had the chance to dominate yet. I've been playing this now for nearly getting on. I know it's not exactly 20 seasons yet, but it's nearly 20 seasons now, and I've never really had the chance to dominate. If we go back into time for a bit, if we just sort of go back to say here, building up, obviously we had Brighton in sixth. Let's just look at Brighton. I realise Liverpool is in blue there, but let's just go back. We've never really sort of dominated at this stage. Actually, no, I can't actually show you at this stage. But if we look at Brighton, I mean, by the time first time we won the league with Brighton was 2020, right? I think it must have been. So we won it only by 3 points there. Came third there. Won it by 5 points, but of course it wasn't that easy. I mean, I know that looks easy-ish, but trust me, it wasn't easy that season, we all know. Third there. 3 points ahead of Manchester United there. 6 points again ahead of Chelsea, but look at their goal difference. You can just tell from things like the goal difference, the goals scored against, so on, how, actually does that really tell the whole story? And I don't think the 6 points do. That's only a matter of 2 games. I mean, they may have lost. We may have won our last 2 games. They could have lost their last 2 games. Doesn't necessarily mean it was a tight run thing. And obviously, the other season was winning it with Chelsea over by 2 points, and then of course the 1 point. But we are 7 points ahead with a game in hand. So if we win that game in hand, say, over Manchester United here, who have climbed up into second now, of course, with Johnny Heitinga being their manager, who's doing a real decent job. And yes, Phil Jones is still there. He's going as the captain. He's 36 now. And to be fair, he's 2.5 stars against this extremely strict or harsh, I don't know what you want to call it, but high level of scouting. So for a 36-year-old, that's mightily impressive. This is the first time really been sort of dominant, and weirdly enough, we still don't have the best goal difference in the world, or at least in the league, as Man City, of course, on plus 48. They were on plus 36. Now, it's obviously not a million miles away from them, but nevertheless, they still have the better goal difference. What lies, or at least what helps us, is our goals against. As you can see, we have not conceded that many goals, only 22, which obviously... that's actually how many Charlton, as you can see at the bottom there, have scored. So I kind of says really, and obviously you'll be seeing the reasons how and why I've managed to get that. But if we look further down the table, then we've got Manchester United now, who seem to have bounced back after a few years, and I don't want to say mediocrity because they were still half decent, but they were sort of where Liverpool are now, I guess, I'd say rather have been over the last 3 or 4 years. Arsenal, Man City. Standard again, it's the top 5 standard, just as you would expect, really. Obviously not in real life, I'm just saying on the game. I was pointing out, 99% of the time, unless stated, I am talking about in the game when I'm talking about, as you would expect. I'm just pointing that out. Then we've got the strange thing of Blackburn being here. I would only assume Venky's aren't there anymore. Actually, yeah, I think we've already checked. Let's see, staff, it's in here, yeah. Well, they've actually got an English chairman, but believe it or not, Shebby friggin' Singh is still there. I remember if you follow me on Twitter the other day, you may notice I got quite excited when I found old Shebby here. To be fair, he's still going, 68 years old in 2029. He's a character, this lad. He's a character. He's a dreadful businessman. But I didn't even know he played football. I'm not going to be honest. Did he even really get 167 caps for Malaysia? That is insane. But yeah, fair enough on his part. And then we've got Brighton down in 7th, who they have actually gone ahead and sacked Jurgen Klopp now and brought in this lad here, Viktor Goncharenko, who's 51. He used to play for Bati Borisov, I believe, or he is actually a manager in real life. Who does he actually manage now at the moment? So we scroll all the way down here. Yeah, he looks to be the Bati Borisov manager, which is quite interesting. That's right. Yes, he was the Juventus manager, and he actually did a really decent job with Juventus. Let's see. He did get to, if I just rewind it a little bit here, knocked out in the semi-final. He came very, very close, actually, to winning the Champions League if it weren't for me, so may have actually done it. So, yeah, he's a decent little manager. So, he might bring them back to some prosperity. We've got a load of mid-table teams here. West Brom sliding down a bit, although obviously games in hand are all over the place, so just bear that in mind. And then I think these were the teams that actually came up, and they're all in the relegation zone, which is quite funny. And yeah, the rest is virtually how you would expect at this stage. Let's go over some of the transfers then. I keep doing that. Where is it? Transfers. Hang on. I always go on the top tab of history, not that one. Right, here we go. So players out. I've obviously recouped 57 million, spent 78. So let's go over the players out first. Now this is Yaroslav Michalski. As you may have known, he's been here for a while, but I eventually sold him off to Forest as he's getting on a bit, and he was moaning about first team football and all that jazz. So I sold him off for £6 million. Keno, a absolute flop, one of the worst signings I've ever made. His run of, as you can see here for Cardiff, 23 goals, that completely fooled me into thinking, you know what, he's actually maybe a decent player. Jude Nugent, I didn't really want to sell him, but he wasn't the big player that we needed. You know, I feel like I can now get rid of players like Nugent who are sort of nearly there, and replace them with players who are there. If you know what I mean when I say, have actually reached some sort of pinnacle, or type of, they are one of the best in the world type thing. This lad is clearly not going to be a world beater, so I thought I'd just cash in on him. £7 million. Jack Robinson obviously has actually retired, so I let him go before he retired. Henry Egerton, I don't know. It was weird, this guy, because he was only here for a couple of seasons. I mean, I managed to recoup virtually all my money back, so that was fair enough. I don't know. I just couldn't find a place for him in the team. I just couldn't start him. And then once you start going down that road, you've had it, and players start moaning. They're not happy. They don't want to play for you. They want to leave, and so you just have to sell them. It really is that simple. It's kind of annoying, really, as I liked Egerton. But again, a player who's never going to be a world beater, but he's still a pretty decent player. And then this was probably a mistake. Pedro, I don't know why I sold Pedro, actually. I think I just got a bid completely out of the blue by AC Milan, who wanted Pedro for 8.75 million, and I thought, has he really done a whole lot? And you know what, actually he had. I thought he was decent. He made a shitload of assists. And when sometimes you just get a bid out of the blue, and you think, hang on, I signed this player for free. And yes, I will admit I am quite greedy sometimes when it comes to money. Not to mention in real life now, not really. I'm a bit of a tight ass, but aren't we all? There is a recession going on. And when I see sort of £9 million flashed in my face for basically nothing in return, just to get rid of a player who sort of just floated around. He didn't. I don't know. He didn't really have much of a presence. He wasn't a player where I'd go, you are first on the team sheet. Pedro, he's a weird player. I don't know. AC Milan just waved a load of money in my face, and I snatched at it like a fucking idiot. So, yeah. Then loans, loads of loans, and then this was just bizarre. Johnson, as you can see, has gone to Brighton, £30 million. And I tell you what, £8 million for a 30-year-old who I personally have not rated all that much. I mean, admittedly, he came in and scored hat tricks and all this malarkey, but he was consistently inconsistent, and he irritated the living hell out of me, to be honest. I mean, he has a good run, and to be fair, we got all our money back after nearly 8 years, and hey, you know what? He had his days. He's had his good days. He's had his bad days. Time for him to move on. Personally, as I say, I don't rate him all that much, so I was more than happy to sell him off for £8 million. Again, recoup a lot of money. And then Asia Pareda has also gone. This one was, so I'm just making sure I didn't just buy someone and then sell them off straight away in the next window. This player was weird again. I just couldn't find a spot for him in the team. He was almost too versatile for me. It's just when the squad's getting too big and you just have to make things. Okay, we'll come back to this lad in a minute. We'll come back to him. And the rest are out on loan. So that's £57 million. Actually, we'll come back to him now. I guess we'll start with him. This is Miguel Angel Garcia. Now, as you can see, I've bought him, but I've also just sold him off immediately to Marseille. How many games did he play? He played 3 games. 3 games. Why did he do that? Oh, sorry, why did I do that? I'll explain in a moment. In fact, no, actually, I'm probably going to forget when I actually get to the games to show you. He was incredibly irritating. He started out and I thought, okay, yeah, I've got a decent player. He came in for his first game. I thought, decent, okay, looks all right. Then he made a mistake, a very stupid mistake, which cost us the game against the team, which I'll probably show you in a bit. Then I left him out of the team for a bit. Shiba Miura came in, actually did all right. Threw him back in. He made the same mistake, cost us the game again. Now, that pissed me the fuck off. That really pissed me the hell off. The fact that, and it was a really stupid mistake as well. It wasn't something like, it was an accident or whatever. No, it was seriously bad mistake. So I let him go and made £2.25 million profit on him. I knew his value had gone up by the time he was here, so I told him to piss off, quite honestly. And obviously we'll get back to him in a little bit. Now, Albert Kostrov, this is a really interesting one. As you can see, a signing from Chelsea. Extremely good player. On a free as well. Bear in mind, I don't know why he wanted to leave. I think he was, they just didn't renew his contract, I think is what happened here. As you can see, he came in, scored 33 goals in his first season for Chelsea, 23, 22, 19, 26 last season. He's already got 11 this season with a few assists to throw in there too. He's a really good player, and I cannot believe and cannot understand for the life of me why Chelsea did not renew this lad's contract. So I jumped in there, I was like, hey, I'm having you. His wages are friggin' unbelievable. I mean, are truly ridiculous. I mean, £170,000 a week. I mean, admittedly, that's only 90k a week. Only 90k a week. That's paltry. No, but that is just seriously ridiculous. But he's a good player, though. Trust me, he's a good player. He's getting on a bit, but tell you what, for free, his wages are paying for that, I'll admit. But he's a good player, let's be honest. Now, Greg Tom, he's actually gone back. He's been injured. He was on loan. I bought him on loan because I wasn't sure about this guy. I thought I need another left, or was it right side? I think I need another winger, so I thought I'll get someone on loan with an option to buy him at the end. Turns out this guy was terrible. I'll say terrible. I mean, he had 7 assists, which is not bad at all, but he lacked presence on the field. When there was a player who blatantly wasn't good enough for the level you were at, in terms of sort of role on the pitch, where he'd struggle to get involved or like get on the ball and have the real confidence to drive on like a winger should in the big games. He really sort of went into his shell a bit. That was it. And what happened was, I don't know, I just didn't have a good feeling about him. And yeah, he's decent, but his value sort of represents that 400k. And then what happened is he got injured. He broke his what happened to it? I think he sprained. Oh no, where is it? Yeah, he broke his jaw, and he was due to go back like February anyway, so I just sent him back since he wasn't no good to me. Man's not paying his wages anymore, so I sent him back after that. Next one, first big spend, in fact only massive big spend really, is a player here called Gaston Ruiz. He's 23, he's from Argentina, and he's very, very good. I originally signed him as a centre mid. I need another centre mid to really pack in that midfield. But if anything, he's extremely versatile. Can play on the left and attacking left and as a striker. So I've got a very versatile player here, and I'm quite excited to see what I can do with him. As I say, he can play in centre mid. He can play. I'm hoping he can sort of play. I'm going to try and convert him into an AMC as well. But I've got people for that. Don't worry. Then this is incredible. Kobe Moan, right, Belgian, signed for 14.25 million. You think, okay, really good defender here. Got a really good defender. Sure, that back up. Why is he not played? Now, can I just point out, I signed this lad on deadline day. So, 31st of August, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got a really good centre-back here, signed, he was at Wigan. Wigan demanded a high fee for him, and I thought, okay, fair enough, got money in the bank, I'll pay for him. Then this happened. He broke his leg on the 1st of September. Now, that wasn't like, a stubbed toe or a bruised thigh, keeps him out for maybe less than a week. No, he broke his friggin' leg in his first training session. I'll say that one again. He broke his leg in the first training session. What is all that about? I mean, I know it can happen. I'm not saying this is unrealistic. Of course it can happen. But, I mean, come on. Give me a break. So, yeah, he's not played. He has not played at all. Unbelievable. But he's just getting back now. He is just getting back. So hopefully we'll see more of him at the end of the season. Then we have El Lopez, who I actually did go ahead and sign. He wanted to, I think on the last day actually, was it the last day? Oh, so no, this was in January. Yeah, he wanted a move to a bigger club. He was getting a bit pissed off because he scored tons of goals. We all know he's a really good player. Now this one baffled me, to be honest. I didn't realise this until I bought him, just to check on his history, see how many goals he scored and all that type of thing, what his consistency rates are like, blah blah blah. And I noticed he's already played for Liverpool. We bought him from Manchester City for 12.75. We then sold one for 15.75. I then buy him back for 19.25 without prior knowledge of him actually playing for Liverpool. I just want to point out. So I didn't know. And yeah, why? I mean, I'm not being funny. It's not as if he wanted more first team football or something, because he clearly did well. I mean, he scored 38 goals in his first season for Liverpool, then he scored 17. I mean, that's not at all bad, with 11 assists to boot. And then they sold them on. I, for one, have no idea why. I'm not being funny, though. Made a £3 million profit on him. So really what? That, if anything, it cost an extra £1 million. It cost us an extra £1 million, I suppose. I don't know if that makes any sense. Or no, it doesn't actually. That doesn't make any sense at all. But you know what I mean. I mean, we have considerably more money now than we did back in 2024. Obviously, I wasn't here, so I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. But yeah, unbelievable. Why they sold him, I don't know. And now another former Brighton player is Leo Camarota. He's 26 now. He's getting on a bit, but he's not even getting on a bit. He's 26. What am I talking about? Again, Brighton just want to keep throwing these players. Oh, it's not Brighton, it's Arsenal. And they a considerable loss. Look at that. Did he even play? He played 4 times. Yeah, he's played like 5 appearances for Arsenal. I don't understand this, why the CPU does this sometimes. It'll just buy players for the hell of it, not play them, and then the player gets pissed off and wants to leave, and then they sell them for a tiny, tiny amount. Virtually, in comparison to what they paid for him. So I don't get that at all. The £6 million down, and he's barely played. I for one can't make heads or tails of that, but yeah, that's Camarota. He's also now back, so I needed the right winger, as I say, so I brought him in. And finally here, another right winger. This was more of a rotation option, is Jesse Peelen from the Netherlands. He's got great acceleration, great pace again. I just look for a cheeky winger who's got ridiculous amounts of pace. Hopefully I can use them. Excuse me, in a sort of different way. He's at Ajax, he's been at Werder Bremen. It looks okay. He's not going to set the world on fire, but he's a decent option to have, this guy. So there we go. That's my transfer doings for the season. Now, I should point out, we lost the Community Shield to Crewe Alexandra. Crewe Alexandra won, of course, the FA Cup. I don't know how. Honestly, how they won the FA Cup. If I just go back here for a sec. Where's the fixtures? FA Cup final against Brighton, 2-1. I'm not going to be able to click on it. Will it even have... No, it's not even going to have that. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how Steve Davis and co did it, but they did it. And you know what? They went ahead and beat us in the fucking FA Community Shield. I can't explain that. Anyway, it's the real thing. It's not that the Community Shield matters. And we opened up with a nice 4-1 win over Nottingham Forest. Goals from Rubio, Wallace, Han Jae-yoon and Pepe Hernandez. And then we continued to score 4 once again in the second game as we played Southampton. Barry Wallace really getting into his stride already, only in the second game of the season, as he pelted a hat-trick against Southampton. Gordon also chipping in. Wallace then scored the winner alongside an own goal to give us victory over Huddersfield at home. And then West Ham, Barry Wallace scoring again, and Yusuf Tage. I think I'm not going to show you this because I want to move on to the Champions League. Now this was definitely, I know it finished top, but if you just look how close that was, this was by far, the hardest group I've ever been in the Champions League. Now, as I say, I know it finished first, but look how close that is. And it literally all came down to the final game, and you will not believe the ending to this. I'll have to show you in a moment. But we'll go over this first. We actually opened up with a loss to Atletico Madrid, a very good Atletico Madrid, actually. They're pretty decent. Sparta Prague with a sort of, the ragdoll team of the group. And good Ivan Jr. scoring to give us a nice 3-0 victory over them at Anfield. Bunyak then saved a point for us. In fact, that probably put us through that goal. Oop, my phone's going. He saved us a point. by Niang, remember him? He's 34 now. Remember how many times I signed him for Brighton? Twice, in fact. But Munyaki rescuing a point at Anfield for us against PSG. And then we got another draw against them, 0-0 in Paris. That's not too bad, I suppose. Then Gordon scored a vital winner against Atletico. That was a big game we had to win, and boy, we did. And then it came down to the final game. It was us against Sparta Prague. 3-2. 3-2, we won. We managed to do it, but that does not tell you one hell of a story this game was. This was nuts. Just start with just looking at it all. The bookings, what's the first thing that jumps out of you? The bookings, the yellow cards everywhere. Ivankovic got himself sent off at the end. That didn't really make much of a difference. But look, referee, harsh. Look at that, one booking for them. But like, how many is that? 5? And not to mention Kostrov got injured. Now, I'm just going to show you the key highlights. And I'm not going to commentate over the game or anything. I know it's going to... I'm not going to show you all the key highlights. I'll just show you the goals, in fact. Just buzz this one over here. Okay, so this is the first goal here. The reason I'm showing you key highlights is something which happens at the end. So let's move my mouse out the way. It was unbelievable, right? Tommy Wright's ball in, Kostrov arriving, and a very, very nice finish. Go away. And then we had this next goal. This is why I'd rather let the computer do it. Because I'm terrible at manually doing it. And he actually gave a penalty there, believe it or not, to Sparta Prague. I don't know quite what for, but the game doesn't really tell you most of the time what the penalty is for, unless there is a handball, which very, very rarely happens. But Toomey scored there to put the scores level. So at that point, I think we were third. Basically, we had to win. We literally just had to win to go through. Now, there's a guy there, Atek Veloglu, I think is how you pronounce it. He's a youngster, Velioglu. He's a German youngster assigned for £1 million or so from Bayern Munich. And then this is just after half time. This was just literally seconds into the first half. Coming now, this goal was put us 2-1 in front. Tommy Wright doing it. Well, I was going to say, just smashed it into Greg Tom. I don't know what he's trying to do there, but I know what he's trying to do, but it didn't come off very well. Yeah, you see, Tommy, he's decent, but he'll never, as I say, set the world on fire. He's never going to go absolutely, mental with his goals and his play and stuff. Unlike this lad, Dominic Kemp, who is coming on very, very, very well indeed. 5-star potential coming through your youth ranks. You've got to be happy with that, haven't you? Here he is on the ball again. So, now it is 2-1, and I powered this one forward. Greg Tom's ball across, and there's Kostrov. A marvellous finish from Kostrov. That was 3-1, and that I thought was going to be the game there. I thought we were going to go on now and really, pummel them into the ground, but they stood up really well. I should also just point out, Sparta Prague, up until this point, had not even scored a goal in the group. That penalty was the first goal they scored, and then what about that for a finish? I mean, he turned Velioglu there completely, did him, but what a good finish. But that doesn't tell you the rest of the story. Let's go back to this highlight. So we're still winning 3-2. It's all crazy. Should have maybe been a sending off there. I don't know, but it's hanging on by a thread now. Really hanging on by a thread, and it's just getting tenser and tenser and tenser. As obviously we have to win. If we draw, we're heading out 2 points down. Obviously, if we lost the 2 points there, we had 11 points. We would drop down to 9. That meant Europa League football, and both PSG and Atletico would advance through. Who obviously were playing each other, and then Greg Tom just sort of holding on to the ball quite nice. Again, he looks good in the highlights. He is a typical player, who looks good in the highlights. And then, oh dear, Vankovic. Oh, it looked like it was last man. But believe it or not, for the first time ever, I actually got that red card rescinded. Was that worthy of a red card? See, even the game started doubting it. As I say, I've never seen it before, but I actually managed to get the one rescinded. And to be honest, from here, that looked like a last man situation. I don't know where the game thought of that one, but then, oh boy, this was it. This was the big one. Vadim Glukov with a terrible header, but watch Jay Lacey. What's he trying to do here? Plays it to King. Oh dear. Oh, he saved it. Toomey puts it in. I thought, no, we're going to head up the Champions League. It's going to stand, but no, the goal doesn't stand. Look at the delay. It flashed up. It said second goal for Toomey. It didn't stand. What drama that was. That would have put us out of the Champions League. That would have put us out. And you know what? He was onside. Go back and watch that again. He was onside, apparently. So said the game. An unbelievable end to that run. Easily the hardest group I've ever been in Football Manager. Unbelievable. Oh, we're not even halfway through the freaking fixtures yet. Right, let's carry on to 3-0 over Manchester United. Wallace, again, just absolutely on fire at the start of the season. 2 for him. Ferrer also scoring. We then played West Ham. Barry Wallace coming off the bench. It's one-man team, I suppose. As we advanced through into the Capital One Cup 4th round, as we beat them there. Then 1-1 against Aston Villa. Yaya Toure coming off the bench. 2-1 against Millwall. Kostrov, I think, was that actually his first goal? Possibly, I think it was his first goal. At the end of September there, 2-1 against Millwall. Wallace scoring again. Turning out a point at the Stadium of Light. 2-0 against Tottenham. As I say, Tottenham are not all that great. Feburary, believe it or not, I'd already... I picked him by accident as his transfer was already settled, but you know what? He actually looked really good. He was already on his way, but he played his heart out in this game and did really, really well. I thought, shit, why did I sell him? And then I remembered, he's an unhappy, grumpy bastard, so I told him to get lost in the end. And then we had a great game. Ruben Juarez and Mikel Ferrer giving us the win after extra time against Aston Villa in the Capital One Cup 4th round. And then Blackburn 3-2. Gaston Ruiz, I think, scoring his first goal. Again, I think. Against Blackburn, really good. 91st minute, we were 2-0 up, we were flying. And then Mason Bennett equalised, as you can see there, 85th minute. I'm just going to show you Gaston's goal, as this was a superb goal. If I recall correctly, I could be thinking of another one. But yeah, Mason Bennett, 85th friggin' minute, I thought, we've thrown it away. And then check this out. Lovely dart from the wing here. He piles in, he goes in, and he goes past through the keeper. And that is a wonderful finish. 91st minute, cool, calm and collected to give us all 3 points when it looked like we'd thrown them away. Fantastic. And then things got better with a 2-1 victory over Chelsea. Kostrov obviously scoring against his old club. It's always going to happen. But guess what? He did it in the 90th minute, obviously. The drama just keeps on coming and coming and coming, doesn't it? It's just been non-stop ever since Joshua Johnson's got that... late winner. It's always been drama. Then Toure with a nod on. Kostrov, slightly lucky. 90th minute, look at that, 89-09. Unbelievable stuff again. And then, bizarrely, we lost a week later to Wigan. I underestimated Wigan, I'm not going to lie. I put Kemp and Goodeve and stuff and Junior and Tom. He had a terrible game, first sign of his weakness there. Kostrov came off, couldn't do anything. Sorry, came on, I should say. And I think this was Garcia. This may have been his first real mistake. I'm just trying to... I think it was Reynard. This was the first time Garcia actually came in and... just watch this. What's he trying to do? But what that doesn't show you, that highlight doesn't actually show you, is he backed himself into a corner. If I just go back there... Okay, come on. Really? I can't... Alright, just fiddle with this. Hang on. Okay, yeah, just watch from here. Okay, good tackle. You think, okay, cool. Now get rid of it. What's he doing? And then that happened. Or obviously, I was really furious with him. I was really annoyed at him. And that gave them the win. And, we had a chance. We were still... in there. If we hadn't done a stupid thing like that. So he was dropped for a bit. And then we won 2-0 against Brighton. 2-0. I think that may have been one of Jurgen Klopp's last games, actually. Alega and Wallace with goals. No subs, as you can see, which was a mistake, as I played a weaker team. I want to say weaker team. What I mean is, I'm playing some of the youngsters and letting other people have their opportunities. That's all I'm doing there. I just want to point out. Goodeve with 2 and Han Jae-yoon giving us the win to get us through to the Capital One Cup semi-finals. Man City. Yes, we beat them as well, even at Man City Stadium, which again I keep having to say, but it is a dreadful name. Wallace and Toure with the winning goals. Sparta Prague, you'll know about. 3-0. Barry Wallace scoring again 2 more goals. And Mikel Ferrer also scoring 4-0 against Cardiff, as you can see there. Wallace with another 2. Good Eve, who's coming now. He's done really well. He's only young, 20. He's come to, product of the youth academy. He does have a lot of interest in him, though. He does want to be loaned. He is going to stay. Just to point out, he is not transfer listed. He's loan listed. So, yeah, just a note on that. And as you can see, ever since that defeat at Wigan, we backed mainly because we haven't had fucking Garcia in the team. And yeah, Kemp, Kostrov, Rubio, and Wright also scoring there with a nice 4-1 victory over Newcastle. And then Charlton, this is right to the Christmas period. Kemp again coming in. He has been superb. Marvellous for a 19-year-old. Again, I'll show you him. Yeah, he's Welsh 19, 5.5 million value, 4.5 star potential. That is phenomenal. Bizarrely, his position is only AMC, but he is slowly drifting towards a midfielder role as well. I maybe consider trying to train him into a striker, but I like him in this AMC role. And as you know, AMC is one of my big sort of playmaker roles. It's where I usually put my advanced playmaker in that attacking midfield role. So yeah, he's set. He's set for a while. And then Kemp, yeah, we've done Charlton there, and then Arsenal. Yaya Toure with the consolation. I think we just ran out of steam. Arsenal just were better than us on the day. You know, when Wallace had one of his off days and Fabio was terrible, and this was just one of those games where it was like, you know, when the other team's just more up for it than you, and yeah, things just don't go right for you. We've all seen it. You know, when two big teams come together and one's just better, you know, because they've got home advantage or whatever. You know, it's just things like that happen. It's one of those games, I suppose. But Wallace bounced back very nicely with 2 goals to give us the win over over Nottingham Forest. And he didn't score though against Huddersfield, but Ferrer and Toure thankfully did give us the win there. Then we played Peterborough, which we won 3-1. Jimmy Crowder, yes, the youngster scoring. I'll show you some of these lads' goals. Jade Lacey also scoring. I'm still deciding where to play him as well, because he can play at centre back, defensive centre midfield, and centre midfield. So I will show you these 3 goals. So this was after 27 minutes, 3-0 up. I'm thinking, yes, you know, a bit of a rout here. And yeah, a lot of youngsters were played. Farbarker, Velioglu, Kemp, Waterhouse, their own Waterhouse, another name you might want to see over the next few years. Crowder, obviously. Even Sheba Muir is quite young, and so is Jay Lacey. So yeah, this was a very, very young team. I think I managed to calculate the average was 20. I think. Obviously, you know, King obviously was pushing that one up. He's 34 now. I realise in real life he's only like 18. But yeah, he's a good little player, this Tom King, for his, you know, especially considering he apparently has no hope when he gets to about 2020. But yeah, nice stuff from Lacey there. And he follows that one up very nicely indeed. Nice run in, very sort of Steven Gerrard-esque, you know, powering in into the box. Obviously, I'm not saying he is Steven Gerrard, but he is a local Liverpool-born player, plays in centre midfield. You can't help but make the comparisons, can you? You know, it's natural. And yeah, so Peterborough kind of just shot themselves in the foot. There's Fernandez, you might remember him, that's a name, who were bought in at Brighton, but he did not do particularly well. He wasn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. He was just, you know, he didn't do anything, you know, didn't help himself rather than, you know, doing something good for the team. Slightly lucky sort of deflections and stuff here, but good stuff again. Laying it off for Jay Lacey, who came in then. It's 11 minutes in. He's got 2. I was like, wow, you know, maybe we do actually have a bit of potential in this youth team after all. I was more thinking, you know, there's the odd individual out of a team of average players, but no, they looked pretty decent. I mean, that was just lucky. I was thinking maybe Crowder was offside, but no. Decent finish for him. First ever goal for Liverpool for the 17-year-old. I think he was 17 at the time. He might be 18 now. Let's have a look. Clicked on it. Bit of a delay. Probably should have. Yeah. Yeah, he's 17, yeah. And I've got me. There we go. I'll go back. Come on. Ugh. Really does not like this match engine, this thing. Doesn't matter how powerful your computer is, by the way. It's one thing I've learned. Doesn't matter how powerful your computer is. It's going to struggle with the match engine. Because it's just so heavy. It's a heavy load. And then we played Capital One Cup semi-finals against Manchester City. 3-3 at Anfield. Check this one out. Wallace with 2. All over the place, this one. We should have probably won maybe 5 or 6-3, but no, they've got some really good players, you know. This Taylor's a really good player. Yeah, he's 26 now. He's always sort of been threatening. He's like Rooney, you know, who's very, very good, very gifted player, and has shown that he can do it on the big stage and always does it. But, you know, is not consistently brilliant. He's excellent, but he's not phenomenal. Sort of like I know that's a very harsh criticism on Rooney because he is very, very good, but sort of he just hasn't pushed on to become an absolute true great yet. I'm just saying, not my criticism of Rooney. It's just a rather crap comparison. A few people want me to show you Robert Dudell, who is currently injured. There's a Dale Gascoigne. No way. Is he? Please tell me he's not related. No, thankfully. Here he is, Dudell. Yeah, I'll show you this guy. If people want to show him, he's a proper good player, this lad. He bizarrely can play defensive centre midfield. But look at them stats. A few people want to see these. He's been injured, that's why he's not playing there. But let's have a look at his stuff here. City sounding for that pennies really to them, definitely, but pennies to most football clubs. But that literally is a penny to them. And look at that. 14, 33, 42, 50, 59, 45, 27, 36, 26, 46, 25. He is an absolute monster of a player, this lad. So City very strong still. Mikel Ferdinand have one of his best days, but we were still in with a chance at least, of progressing. And then we had another draw against the Manchester club going to Old Trafford. Gaston Ruiz with the goal, but it wasn't any goal. It was it was in the 46th minute. Obviously I don't know what you want to say. It was Fergie time or whatever, but unfortunately they did get a late equaliser. But I'm always happy with a point at Old Trafford. A bit of a very, very scrappy goal actually, but that was a very nice handy goal before the break. And then we played Southampton. That was 4-1. Ruben Juarez, Kemp with 2, and Kostrov off the bench. And then we played 1-0 against Millwall. Kostrov again off the bench to give us the win. And then unfortunately, I don't lose too many semi-finals, but we do lose this one, as unfortunately Barry Wallace's goal was not enough. City getting a bit of revenge for last season's, or in real life, last season's Carling Cup semi-final. Yeah, they're just really, really good. They just have a really good team. A lot of this Grant Cook's another player who's pretty decent. I'll show you him as well. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name, but he's another decent one. He's getting on a bit. Grant Cook now. He's one of the sort of big regens that came in like 10 years ago and was like, along with Barry Wallace and all that. I was like, wow, these kids are really good. I've got to watch out for them. And the computer does appear to be really, really slow today. I don't know why. It's Good Friday. It's a bank holiday. Probably wants a day off. Yeah, what's it doing? Don't think it likes the match engine. I know we played Lincoln in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Now, Lincoln, as I should point out, are no longer the sort of conference team that you know them as in real life. They are, in fact, in the Championship. In fact, let's show you the Championship. This is how things stand. Don't know what to make of that. You make of that what you will. Everton all the way down there. I don't know what's happened to them. They are rich, however. And we won 3-2. Really good game, though. Kemp scoring again. And Kostrov off the bench once again. We were 3-0 up, I thought. Game over. And look at this lad, Thomas Pedersen, who's an absolute beast. Nearly brought them back. I was like, oh, Christ, what's happened there? Really, really, really bad stuff. But Aston Villa, Kostrov scoring once again. He has been in incredible form. Lopez then came in, I think, scored his first goal against Tottenham at Perryman Stadium. And then 1-1 at West Ham. Kostrov once again scoring a decent point at Upton Park. At Anfield, I should say. I'm just trying to remember where Garcia's big mistake was. I'm just trying to remember where it was now. So, obviously, he played there. I'm trying to remember which other game he did it in, because he did it twice, and that's why I ended up selling him. So, he just irritated the living hell out of me. It wasn't that one, clearly. I'm just trying to remember. It was around here. Was it 1-1, maybe? No. Might have been this one. Let's have a look at Hornby. Yeah, I think it might have been this, Hornby. It's like this one a minute. We don't usually expect to lose to Sunderland. They are not adapted. Yeah, there was. Look at him, just dawdling in the corner. He does exactly the same. Absolute carbon copy. So you can imagine. So I do that. I'm thinking, oh God, what have the balls here? And then he goes and does it again against Wigan. I didn't know what to make of that, but I sold him. That's all I can say. Anyway, let's have one last thing here. Look at the play stats. El Lopez, he scored most of these at West Brom. That's why I ended up buying him. He was super impressive. Wallace obviously on 17 there. Yeah, there's Hristov. He's another good player. I think that's how you pronounce that. Bulgarian. So we've got any Bulgarian homies in the place. Put your hands up. Yeah, he's a good player. It took me ages to score against me, though. It took him a long time to score against me personally. And this is why, I said at the start, this is why I think our goals against are so low. Just look at that. Our three of our defenders are in the top six. I think I've pointed this out previously in another season, but we always end up having Glukov. Ruben Juarez has come in and been incredible, absolutely incredible, and Pepe Hernandez all in the top six there. That kind of says it all, really, and I think that is impressive, super impressive. So Glukov and Juarez at the top, and especially them two, verging on average ratings of 8, which is absolutely unbelievable. Right, so that is going to do it for me then. So all it leaves me to do is wish you a very happy Easter, and I will see you next time. So bye bye.